This boy just wanted to show his real strength in front of the demons. The demons had no idea that he was actually the reincarnation of the Demon King's heroic spirit. You have to understand, the Demon King is someone who could destroy the world, but now he's standing on the human side. Some demons didn't believe it and even mocked him. Unexpectedly, he killed one with a single strike. What nobody expected, however, was that Jack was actually the strongest on Myoji. Even the strongest Demon King could only serve as his mount. Even powerful demon lords could be defeated with a simple paper talisman spell. But because he pursued power too obsessively, and had terrifying strength, he was labeled the greatest calamity. Eventually, he was framed by the state and betrayed, and even defeated by his own disciple. At the moment of death, he cast one final spell, pouring all his remaining power into reincarnation. As expected, Jack was successfully reborn, and he was born into a prestigious magical family. But his new body had absolutely no magical power, so his older brother Kevin looked down on him. Jack didn't care what others thought, because the curse power in this body was already surging. That very day, Jack grabbed a bunch of leaves. Since he couldn't afford talisman paper, he had to use leaves to cast spells. Under Jack's control, the dead leaves floated and formed the words Godslayer. Some of them turned into mice, and others became crows. Jack then started gathering intelligence. Soon, he turned 7. His range of movement became freer, and he began making talisman paper in his spare time. He no longer needed to pick up leaves from the ground, and could have his own talismans. That day, a maid named Annie brought Jack his coat, which she found in the garden. Jack immediately recognized it as his own. Just then, his older brother, who had always looked down on him, came over. He laughed at Jack for liking to play in the mud, and bragged about his grades. Luckily, at that moment, their father and eldest brother arrived, reminding Kevin that it was magic testing day. Watching them leave, Jack called out to his father, saying he wanted to go too, so they all went to the training ground together. Kevin was arrogant, but he really was talented at magic, especially fire magic. To make Jack look bad, he deliberately handed his wand to Jack. Jack, of course, didn't let him get away with it, although he had sworn not to chase power anymore. The truth was, the weak would always be oppressed, so Jack decided not to hide his strength.
呼ぶは一土。土の気として呼び出した輪の塊に火気を浄化する。本マグニブーミソーグ。フワイアボール。角の層。鬼火の術。
A rare blue flame shocked his two brothers, and even his father's gaze became meaningful. It turned out that there had been people in the past who could use magic without magical power, and depending on the type of magic, the flame color would change. But his father still believed that Jack, without magical power, couldn't become a mage. Jack was a little disappointed, but his father still agreed to give him the same educational resources as his brothers. Time flew by, and Jack was now 11. He created a special summoning talisman, having controlled many powerful monsters in his past life. This time Jack just wanted to summon one that would be obedient. He set up the talisman, and as he recited the spell, the space around him warped. The summoning succeeded, but something felt off. Due to the influence of the real-world universe, the demon he summoned appeared as a child, like her. Just as Jack was about to send her back, the girl turned into mist, slipped into Jack's hair, and transformed into a small fox. She wanted to stay by Jack's side this way. Soon, Jack turned 12, but his birthday meal was still just bread, and his older brother still liked to bother him. At that moment, a maid ran in, panicked, saying a large magical beast had appeared near the city, heading their way. Jack had already sensed it nearby. As the mansion shook violently, a giant monster appeared before everyone. Kevin ran away in fear, but Jack ran outside, using himself as bait to lure the monster. After defeating the giant beast, that night's dinner was unusually lavish. Thanks to Jack's impressive performance in battle, he finally earned his father's recognition. Jack took this chance to ask his father for a wish. He really wanted permission to attend the Magic Academy. Recalling Jack's performance, his father happily agreed, but said he had to enter based on his own ability. Jack also requested to bring Annie along, hoping she could become his personal attendant at the academy. To get his father's approval, Jack had Annie show her power. Unknowingly, Annie summoned countless magic spheres. Although Jack got his father's permission, his older brother Kevin strongly opposed it, because the spot had originally been his, but their father didn't care, and said his decision wouldn't change. Unable to accept the sudden change, Kevin challenged Jack to a duel.